Hi guys, I'm Megan Lane, the intuitive actress, and I really wanted to talk with you all today because I'm just like on fire with inspiration today. And I talked to a really great friend of mine too, who is a also really well-known intuitive and actor. She does multiple things like I do, like singing, acting, dance, intuitive work. She's a writer, an author, public speaker. We do all the same stuff. So multifaceted, crazy person. Hey Laura, by the way. So we did this amazing trade today. We were just kind of tapped in for each other and just had a beautiful talk about life. And I've noticed some common threads. So Laura, you've inspired this video because we both are going through massive, massive change right now. And I thought maybe some other people could benefit from our conversation about where I kind of saw common threads around when you're going through massive changes. This is to everybody. When you're going through massive changes, it can be really dizzying sometimes and overwhelming. It can actually feel kind of like you're spinning or can't get rounded, like you can't get your bearings sometimes because everything is kind of spinning. You're uprooting old patterns and you're uprooting old ways of being. And it can be really intense sometimes and not always so pleasant. So even though you're making good changes usually, it can still feel like spinning or like, just really out of control a little bit. So I just wanted to go over a couple of like things that really help when you're going through massive, massive change in order to support yourself through that change. So without further ado, I'm going to look at my notes here because I wrote a couple notes down. The first thing is to make sure when you're going through massive change to focus on the physical a little bit more, focus on the physical body a little bit more, because I promise you're going to maybe lose a little sleep or feel a little bit off when you're changing it all, at once. Or you may be traveling, you may have jet lag if you're really moving around a lot. So it's really important to be supporting yourself with enough sleep, really making sure you get as much sleep as you can. Try to get into a sleep routine if you can. Diet's really important right now. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Water moves energy. Water is the emotional body in the psychic world. So make sure you're clearing out and detoxing and drinking enough water. Stay hydrated. It helps move energy and it helps keep your body moving energy too. And we're made up of like 80% water or something like that. So it really helps to support your cells, especially if you're really stressed out. Just make sure you're drinking enough water. It's really hard to remember that when you're going through a lot. Another one is quiet time. So you may be, if you're going through massive, massive change, you might be going through a weird hermit phase where you don't want to be as social. You don't really feel like reaching out or talking a whole lot to a lot of people, or you're keeping it a little close to the chest with just people you really know well or feel really comfortable with. This is because you need more time to process when we're going through massive change. And that's okay. Take the time to process. This is a great time to get into a meditation routine. This is a great time to finally whip out that adult coloring book that someone gave you. This is a great time to listen to your podcasts, even if it's like doing some research. It doesn't have to be like quiet, sit in the corner time. It can be listening to inspirational podcasts or getting some reading in, researching new things, listening to YouTube videos, making yourself a lovely cup of tea and sitting down and really being alone with your thoughts. So being in nature is also wonderful for balancing energy. I just want to throw that in there. Nature is the best because we're animals. Really, at the heart of it, we're animals. So it's really important to reconnect with nature and be in our natural habitat. It also just literally, scientifically, takes your heart rate down. They've done studies on it. So watching fish in a tank or in a pond takes your heart rate down. So does being around trees or water. So if you can get to be in nature, even just a little bit, even if it's just sitting outside in a park or just outside your house near a tree, that'll help with anxiety or help ground your energy while you're going through all this change. Another one is that your social circles themselves might be shifting a bit. So when people go through extreme change, and I've done this multiple times in the last couple of years, especially in Los Angeles, and I was warned that Los Angeles is kind of like this. If you keep growing and evolving, people will fall away and they won't make sense in your life anymore sometimes. And it's not that they're wrong or you're wrong. It's just that you may outgrow each other or maybe in different vibrational energies, meaning like you may just have a different mindset, different belief systems that no longer jive together. And being around the wrong people can actually drain your energy away or make you feel really tired or defensive or like people don't understand you. And it's a lot of emotional energy to try to keep up the ruse, so to speak. So let the people go for now. Like some of them will fall away forever and some of them may just need to go, You maybe separate for a minute to let them go through their stuff, you go through your changes, and then you come back together. Actually, Laura, the one I talked to today, we weren't mad or anything. We disappeared for a while and came back, and both like, now we're parallel again, like going through massive shifts. So we were just meant to go through our own growth and then come back together. And that does happen too, especially if you're soul connected or karmically connected with people. Soulmates tend to come back together if they're meant to be still learning from each other down the line, and not if it's complete, it's complete. So there's different kinds of soulmates. I could do a whole program on soulmates, but I won't get into that too much. So let people go in and out. I say it can be a little bit lonely when you're upshifting, when you're really changing your life for the better, because I say it's like lonely in the elevator, because when you're moving up several floors, sometimes you're in there by yourself, and it can feel a little isolating before the next people show up, before the doors open and you've got your new crop of souls to be playmates with, or to learn from, or to collaborate with, or whatever. It can be a little bit lonely in the elevator, but that's okay. Just know that it's temporary, and know that there'll be a whole new world opening up for you soon. Sometimes you have a few people coming with you in the elevator, especially if they're really soul connected. I have a few friends who are very parallel with me right now. We've been going through very similar lessons, and that's a gift. When you see that, that's a gift. And just be grateful that you've got the few friends who really do get you, even if it's just a few for now, that help support you through this and really get you and really are on your side. So it's okay. It's going to be quality over quantity. And if you're all by yourself, that's okay too. And it's temporary. I promise there'll be new people that come in. Every time I've released people that were no longer in alignment, I've gotten better friends coming in shortly after, that were more in alignment with who I am now. So same thing is for all of you. Another thing is, this is really hard, one thing at a time. Try not to look at everything that's shifting, because it can feel like a tornado. Even if it's good, it's like, oh my God, everything's shifting and there's no roots. It's like, we're creatures of habit. Humans are programmed to be comfortable, want to be comfortable, and to do what we know in order to survive. We have tribal programming. So we're survivally programmed. We're not always evolution programmed. So take things slow, do things one at a time. Don't try to change your entire routine all at once. Maybe you just want to add in an hour of meditation in the morning. You don't want to quit your job and sell your car and move to Swahili. That's a language, not a country. Move to Yemen. Suddenly you want to make sure you have a plan, and to kind of take things one step at a time. Things will kind of evolve in their natural progression, in a natural timing, divine timing. So you don't have to push. I have another video, Don't Push the River. I'll link it. Let things happen organically. That's okay. Let them. I promise that you don't need to push it. You just need to take the next indicated steps, and that'll lead you to the next thing without feeling frantic about it, or being like, oh, I have to do it all at once. That doesn't help anybody. The other one is patience, faith, and trust. These three words are very difficult when you're going through a massive change, because you're like, what do you want from me, world? Like, what do you want from me, God? Or whatever you work with. It's like, when everything's changing, it's like, it can be really scary to wonder where it's all going, or if you're going in the right direction, did I make a mistake? It's like they say, if you want to explore new horizons, you have to lose sight of the shore. So when you're halfway in the middle of the ocean, you may have some feelings like, oh my God, what have I done? Was I supposed to go this way? I might need to turn back. And I know that land. I know that I go back and where it's safe, and I know it. But if you want to explore the new and see what else is out there, you have to be willing to lose sight of the shore and have faith in that it's coming. The next shore is coming. The next chapter, the next horizon, the next place, the next time in your life is on its way to you. So it takes a lot of faith and trust. And patience is the hardest one for me. I don't know about you guys, but patience is not my forte. I like to move things forward. I'm a mover, a shaker, a doer. That's very masculine energy, actually. It's like, make it happen and hit the pavement, make the phone calls. And sometimes this is everybody, there's a shift towards the divine feminine and including it. It's not discounting the masculine. We're just including more divine feminine energy as a whole right now on the world, because the feminine has been repressed for so long as negative, or not as good, or whatever, with patriarchal society. So it's shifting back. It may go too far the other direction. So just, people are mad and they have a reason to be, so just let them do their thing, and don't negate them or try to bring it back to, it's almost like Black Lives Matter, no, all lives matter. It's like, no, Black Lives Matter, not to get into a whole political debate, but they need to be heard right now. And they do need, it's a niche thing. And same thing with the feminine. They need to be heard because they've been repressed so long, denied, repressed, and had not been treated the same. So you can't try to balance it all out immediately. You have to let the pendulum swing until things balance out the way they're supposed to. So people have a right to feel the way they feel. Anyway, I went on a tangent. I'm very passionate about these things. Anyway, so the divine feminine. So a lot of us are having to learn, guys and girls, this is not just for women, are having to learn trust, faith, and letting things come to you, letting things, attracting the right things in, taking a breath, believing that if you're feeling very drawn towards something or something's coming towards you that you've been asking for, you have to drop into a place where you're willing to and ready to receive it and believe you deserve that. If it's incredible and it, not feels too good to be true, but maybe you might be doubting whether you deserve something or not, or whether it's real. You have to really learn to get into that feeling space, that gut space, where you take a deep breath and it's like you feel it in your gut, whether it's for you or maybe not. So let things come to you. Try to have that patience about timing and have that patience that if it's meant, it will be. And it's the hardest one. It really is. Like, I don't like to wait. I like to make things happen. But sometimes things happen in divine timing, and you have to give it a minute for other things to happen, for things to be in alignment, especially when you're dealing with other souls, especially if it's romantic or if there's friendships that might be a little weird. Let the divine timing guide you. You'll know, you'll feel it. You'll both come together. If it's meant to be, you'll feel it the right time. No need to push or force. Another thing is, I said keep it simple. So this is like if you're going to do an overhaul of your diet, for example. You don't have to buy every cookbook out there and become a gourmet overnight. You don't have to buy 1,000 pieces of equipment. Maybe it's just adding vegetables in for now. Maybe it's just trying out new seasonings. It doesn't have to be 1,000 ingredients and a lot of hours of your time. Just keep it simple for now, and you'll expand it later if you want to go down that rabbit hole of learning more. Just keep it simple. When you're starting something new, start with the basics. Start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start, says Maria in West Side Story. Yes, my musical theater nerd is showing. I'm sorry. At least I'm not going into the whole jazz world too. You're lucky. So another one is to ask for signs, because and this one gets really blatant, especially the intuitive people I know, or the people who work with imagery, clairvoyant stuff, or even people who aren't, honestly, people who are sensitive and just pay attention to what the world is giving us. We're getting signs all the time. We're not always listening, but we're always getting information. God, there's so many I want to tell you, but they're my life, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet until I have more solid plans, because I'm protecting my dream. That's another thing. Protect your dream from those who may not understand it, or who might throw their 2 cents in a really negative way. Protect your baby. When something's new, it's like a little sapling, or think of it like a fire. You don't want too many opinions on it. It's like putting too many logs on the fire. When something's new and just like the kindling is getting going, you want to give it a lot of air, breathing room, and you want to give it a lot of, not smother the fire. It's a little bit at a time. And you'll know when to come out. When you've got a blazing fire, it's like, here it is, guys, I built a fire, So the signs thing, like, for example, I'll give you one of mine. I work with animal medicine. I work with angelic realm, different things. And animals have been really one of the things that's just blatant. Here's some things you can look at if you're wanting to learn about how to understand signs. First of all, you can always ask, what does this mean for me? And when I see this, I want it to mean this. And then you'll start seeing it at very magical, weird moments. Like for me, for example, I have a hummingbird. First, hummingbird is my joy totem, and it means you're on the right track. It's a hell yes when I see hummingbirds. It's about sucking the joy out of the life, finding the best in life, the sweetness in life, because they go from flower to flower, the nectar. It just means, and it's also achieving the impossible, because they bat their wings like so fast and travel so fast. So when I see hummingbirds, it usually means yes, or you're on the right track. And when I see them, when I'm doing life coaching for other people or readings for other people, I see them out the window. If that little hummingbird comes, I have one that moved into my front yard. I named him Henry. Why, I do not know. That's his name. And he comes and he hovers and he'll stare at us. I'm like, okay, that's a yes. So I was, when I was on the phone with Laura today, she was asking questions, and I'm like, oh, you're on the right track, because hummingbird is literally the little guy who's going from branch to branch, and he came up and hovered pretty close to me, like Disney princess, crazy close. And then he went and perched right on the branch closest to my face. And I'm like, all right, a hummingbird is here. We're doing good. We're on the right track here. So no worries. So that's an example. So you can always learn, if you're wanting to learn some symbology, I teach that too in Psychic 101, but you can look up animal totems. Like if an animal has come into your awareness that's really kind of jumped out at you or been really, or in your dreams, look up the animal plus the word totem, Totem, like Native American totem pole. And it talks about what that means, the animal symbolism. You can look at numerology, you can look at symbolism in general. And I always ask what it means to you, because symbolism is a very personal language that we have with spirit or higher power. I've had some crazy signs that are hilarious. If I go do the thing I've been planning on or thinking about doing for over a year, I will tell you about the signs that led up to it later. Again, I'm sampling, it's too soon, but I will tell you all later, because it's kind of almost hilarious the way things have been lining up to do that. And it's something I'm afraid to do, but it's something I feel I must do. So, yeah, so that's it. So you guys, take it easy when you're going through massive change. Put the priorities first, the most important things, do them first, and everything will fall into place around it. When you're making choices, try to make really decisive choices from a place of what you need to do, what's the most important. Other things will come in and they'll fit around it. Don't try to do it all at once, just one step at a time. I hope this helps you guys. So many of you are doing overhauls right now, so I feel that, and this is for you. Much, much love. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for being in my life. Thanks for being clients, friends, and subscribers, and I really appreciate all of you. And take care, guys. Bye.